Galnet News, your galaxy in focus. 29th of May, 3301. In today's news, Acting President Winters appears at a press conference the day before her shadow president calls an emergency session of Congress. Beyond Top Secret Host states that there is more to the president's disappearance than meets the eye. And we have a conflict report from 78 Ursae Majoris. Our first story, Shadow President Hudson called an emergency session of Congress yesterday to address concerns surrounding Starship One's disappearance. During the meeting, the Shadow President openly mocked the idea that Starship One's disappearance could have been caused by simple engine failure. Jasmina and I weren't close. Heck, we hated each other and that's the truth of it. But the idea, the very notion that our best and brightest out there on Starship One would have let that bird fly with a busted engine? No way. Those guys are military. We need to be looking for who did it. We need to nail them now. The assassin is busy covering their tracks while we speak. This dithering in action and woolly thinking is typical of this administration. Let's face it, Halsey had enough enemies like those onion head guys, numerous frontier systems she has annoyed, and the elephant in the room, the Empire. Acting President Winters took a more levelled approach. I appreciate the sheer gamut of emotions my esteemed colleague must be feeling, but at times like these, level heads must prevail. We have found no evidence of foul play as yet. Our engineers are sifting through copious amounts of data, and so far it does look like a very unusual catastrophic failure rather than sabotage. Now, despite claims that the disappearance of Starship One was due to a failure in the ship's frameshift drive, there are plenty of rumours abound about a more sinister, possibly extraterrestrial explanation, and many people believe that the truth is out there. Alex Snouri, host of the popular interstellar talk show Beyond Top Secret, had this to say to his listeners. It's an outrage, that's what it is. Do you think those Martian fat cats that rule over us want you to know the truth? I don't think so. Learn your history, people. It wasn't all that long ago that our ancestors were being plucked out of the black right into the belly of bugs. Wake up, sheeple. You don't want to be sitting around dressed up like mutton when they come for you. Do not let the government tell you lies. You're smarter than that. There's been a lot of hullabaloo about strange things being found out there recently. Weird, pulsing, alien things. I don't know where they came from, but I do know that they're creepy and gross and almost certainly dangerous. You think it's a coincidence that the president went missing just weeks after those things turn up? Don't be so naive. Wake up, sheeple. You're being lied to. And finally, moving on to our conflict report from 78 Ursae Majoris. After a series of skirmishes between independent pilots and pirates, as well as the drawn-out battle against the Sobek boys, 78 Ursae Majoris was facing a security threat in the run-up to Federal President Jasmina Halsey's planned visit. News of the catastrophic accident that is believed to have consumed Starship One and taken the President's life has been spreading throughout the galaxy, but 78 Ursae Majoris has now been secured. The system saw a huge influx of independent pilots as Andrew Bailey, mayor of Townshend Hub and local leader of the Aloth Independents, declared the security and military campaign. Independent pilots were tasked with eradicating criminal elements in and around Alliance territory, along with being enlisted in a military campaign against the Sobek boys, a criminal syndicate operating from the Sobek system. There was a lull in fighting the Sobek boys, however, as the objective took a few days to actually reach a completion mark. Some might think there might be more behind as to why this objective wasn't touched in the starting days. Ivan Shevchenko, a known mercenary and fighter pilot, has given us his opinion on the matter. There is a large difference between fighting traditional asteroid belt pirates and a well-organized militia force, and that isn't something I say lightly, having been in the conflict areas. The Sobek boys' ships were well armed and heavily reinforced. A whole gang of pirates running around with that kind of gear is bad for any system or even any region of space. But that could also be the reason as to why nobody was really wanting to fight them. Nobody wants to be tangled up against that kind of firepower. Even I don't, and I own one of the best bounty hunting vessels you can get. On the other hand, independent pilots could have also been distracted by the other directive Mayor Bailey put out to stopping pirate activity. At the same time though, I have to say, who knows? I suppose in the end though, all of us who helped put a stop to the Sobek boys and pirate activities in and around 78 Ursae Majoris did a very good thing for the Alliance and its members. Seddon Gateway, the station where President Hosey was due to arrive before her fateful trip, was fully prepared for the planned visit. That's all the Galnet news for today with me, Ainsley Fairburn. Don't forget to tune in next time to keep your galaxy in focus.